first, you are the matriarch of the Anderson family, and your name?
Ruth Bell Anderson.
All right. So, Grandma. So where you were born?
I was born in Denmark, South Carolina.
Oh man, Denmark. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about Denmark.
Well, Denmark is a little small town with one main street. Everything on Main Street was all the little stores and everything was on Main Street.
Right.
And that was it for Denmark.
Oh, okay. So, like, I guess, so you 86 years old. All right.
That's right.
All right. So that means that you was born and you was going through a lot of the segregation and racism.
Everything. Yes.
Yeah. So how was that?
Well, it was, to me, it didn't bother me too much.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I had a mindset that it was just surviving, just doing the things I know how to do. Nobody didn't ever bother me.
Right.
And we had to walk to downtown from where we lived. So it was, to me, I guess it was easy because there's a lot of things I just didn't let bother me.
Right. So, like, did you see anything, like, any type of racism, even though it didn't bother you, but did you witness, like...
Well, I didn't see anything until we got ready to go to the carnival, and sometimes the Ku Klux Klans would ride through. And that would, disturb things.
Right.
But just to see any real violence going on,
right.
I never just see that.
Right. Because you were smart. You just stayed out the way.
No, it was just that we went to school and we had to walk to school during that time. So I think it might have been about a mile or something like that.
Right.
But nobody didn't really bother us.
Right.
So we went to school and everything, I know things was going on. Right. But it didn't affect too much our household.
That's good. That's good. Cause you hear stories about people being lynched and all of that stuff. Did you ever know some guys or girls that got lynched and stuff like that?
No.
So Denmark was it was alright.
Well, Denmark wasn't so much alright, but if people did something that was wrong, they had a way of getting them out of the little town.
What, sneak them out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you heard about they sneak somebody out where you didn't ever see them come back. So because it was just, that's the way things happen.
Right.
But it was a small town.
Right.
It didn't have a hospital, and it had a few doctors, not many.
Right.
But people just didn't get sick, I guess, like they do now.
Right.
Because people in those days, people mixed up their little medicine and they did some things because I guess a lot of them couldn't afford doctors, so it worked out real good.
Yeah, so with the food, so basically, like, did y'all grow y'all?
Yes.
Y'all grew y'all crops and stuff like that?
I never lived on a farm, but we had a garden. We had chickens, ducks, stuff like that. Right. But I never lived on a farm.
Right, so y'all had like more natural food than the processed food that we see now. That's cool.
Right. Yep, we did. And then, people shared food. People who had big farms and all that land and different stuff, they would bring food over to like their neighbor's house and different stuff. So we always had a lot of food.
Right.
Because the people, they would can food. We would shell peas and beans and they would take figs and stuff and make preserve.
Right.
So they would can up this food.
Right.
So when the time comes, the cook, they had food.
Right. So you had brothers and sisters and stuff like that. So how many brothers and sisters you had?
I had one brother and one sister.
Okay.
Now in the later years, my daddy had some more children, but my mother only had 3.
So I guess the men sleeping around ain't that new.
Well, no, but this happened after they were divorced.
Oh, okay.
And old people, after they were divorced many, many years, then that happened. But I don't know about the sleeping around before.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna clear that up.
Yeah.
The one that he slept around, he was divorced.
Yeah, he was divorced, and my mom was in Atlanta working for the health department.
Right.
And that's what she did until she retired.
Right. And then, so what brought you to Atlanta?
I guess I had enough of the country.
Right.
And I guess I lived with my grandmama because my mother was in Atlanta. And they were real strict. So I guess I needed a change.
Right.
So I came to Atlanta and I stayed.
And that's when the family started. Started to branch out.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's there.
Yeah. So all right. So how many kids? So you come to Atlanta, and then you have how many kids?
I came to Atlanta, and I went to school.
Okay. What school you went to?
I went to Washington High.
Booker T.
Washington High. And then after that, my last year I was pregnant. So that didn't work. And then after that, I took some courses from Atlanta Area Tech in child development. And I learned how to do a lot of things. I was a neighborhood beautician. And
Yeah, I see you still keep your hair like that.
I bake cakes and I'm still baking them and trying to stop.
Right. All right, so you had Daryl, which will be your oldest.
Oldest one.
Right, and then you have 3 boys and you have 1 girl.
1 daughter.
All right, so a total of 4 kids.
4.
All right, so how was that experience with,
It worked out.
It worked. It worked.
Well, I got married, stayed married 14 years.
Okay.
And so I finished. I was a single parent. I had to work, take care of house and my children.
Right.
And we did very well.
Yeah, you did.
We did very well.
Right.
Because I learned, back in the olden days, you had to focus on some things like we had to pray.
Right.
Our Bible verses before we, eat. At night we had to make sure we say our prayers. So that was something up until now continued in my life.
Right.
So with my children, and after I was a single parent, I had to just trust in God and did the things, I had to do. And He worked it out for me. Right.
And you 86 and, a lot of people don't make it that far.
I know.
So through prayer and trusting God.
I've had some tragedy.
Right.
But I've been blessed.
Right.
Because I was trusting in God and He take care of everything.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, he takes care of everything. I used to get angry because I didn't get some help that a lot of people were getting with their children.
Right.
But then I learned in later life that I didn't have to be angry and be forgiving because He had greater things for me.
Right.
And now I'm enjoying them.
Yeah, you are.
That's right.
Yeah, still fly, still looking good.
That's right, and still just traveling and plan on doing some more.
That's good right there. All right, so you had Daryl, Eric.
No, I had Daryl, Rudolph, Karen,
and Eric. Okay. All right, and then after that, their kids branched out, which would be myself and a host of others.
A host of others. That's right. It's a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
A lot.
So, like I always tell you, I enjoy our conversation because, you just shine light on what we see today versus, what was going on then. So, speaking of that, how, when you see things now, let's say for instance, the way women out here and the men out here, how they carry themselves versus back then,
it's hard to believe. I mean, the changes that we see. It's hard to believe that the way things have changed because I understand that with time things change.
Right.
And they gonna continue to change more.
Right.
And then a lot of times young people, I don't know whether they gonna read the Bible to find out all these things that are happening, but it tells us of the things that's gonna happen, and it's happening.
Right.
You know, you're supposed to honor your mother and your father.
Right.
Disobedient. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I am confused at 86 of what's going on.
Right.
Because there's too much going on.
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah, so, you know, like, I guess, like, when you look at the way, because you're a woman, the way, and you, from as long as I remember, you already carried yourself in a decent way. So when you see these other, like, younger version of women.
Well, I tell you what, back in my time, I don't know, I know there are probably some more older people who had situations going on back there, but I never did wear no sleeve clothes.
Right.
And I didn't ever wear clothes that were short. I was old before, very old before I had to put on a bathing suit to go to Water Rose. And I had on so many clothes, my son told me I was going to drown. Because, I mean, you know, to me, our bodies were just, the way they taught us is, you know, our bodies was, I guess, like precious. And, you know, I never wore lipstick, makeup. I don't know why.
Right.
That I mean, I could have, but it just didn't work for me.
Right.
I just was natural, and I've always said, what you see, that's it.
That's it.
That's just it. If that won't do it, just nothing will. I mean, that's it. But some people could look beautiful with something, you know, the way some people fix themselves. But I just believe in being modest, and I grew up like that.
Right.
And I don't know no other way.
Yeah. I mean, it got you to 86, so I mean, you're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good, but like I said, now you can just about just do whatever you want, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
But it won't work for me.
Right.
And now, if you bring your little children in here, they won't be able to walk up around the house all day with a cell phone.
Right.
And I won't be paying no money to get a lot of things done. Because we'll do it together.
Right.
They want, but see, things have changed, and time brings on a change with people.
Right.
Now, some of the changes are good, and some of them are not.
Right.
But if the ones that's not, that's something they're gonna have to deal with.
So, and what about like the men, the way the men carry themselves out here?
I have no answer for them. I have nothing to say. I will not say anything.
Right.
Now, I'm telling you, because all of them ain't like you. You got just your little haircut, and you just playing you. Right. So I don't know. Right. I see things, but I really don't say anything because I don't know.
Right.
And I guess and there are more older people like I am. We see things and we like, my God, what's going on? Right. But then we just gonna have to see it. Right. Because we ourselves can't change it.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That's right. True. Because you know what? See, long time ago, families went to church. Right. The daddy and the mama and their children. But see, all this have changed. More mothers going, might not be fathers going, then there are some fathers going, but everything has just changed. Because when we were growing up, the man was the head of the household. If somebody knocked on the door, a man answered the door. Children couldn't go to the door.
Right.
So, and if any great decisions had to be made, because we had a man of the house, he talked. I know, like my grandma and granddad did, they talk and everything, but he was the head. Right. But see now, women don't need no man to buy them a car. Yep. They buy their own house and everything else they want. Right. So things have changed.
So you think that with stuff like that, does it it kind of like made
not making
relationship balance because more women now have the ability to create their own.
Well, I guess it could sometimes.
Right.
You know, because sometimes the money you spend going to work, by the time you get work, clothes, gas, and everything else, you spend a lot of money. But I guess it's the mindset of people that causes the problem.
Right.
Yeah, the mindset. If two people can't really conversate with each other.
Right.
You know, being honest. I think honesty plays a great part in relationships and everything. Just to be honest. Why I would like to work. Why I want to do this.
Right.
Or can we be able to express to a person how you feel? And the other person need to be able to be honest enough that you can talk about your situation.
Right.
But most people have a problem being honest with each other.
Right.
A lot of people get into relationships and they're not equal.
Right.
But the only way you can be happy, you have to be able to forgive people and be honest with people.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah,
you to be honest.
So honesty is the key to
honesty is the key to a lot of things. Because people say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What's the difference?
That's true.
I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Right.
So if you're not in love with me, we need to talk about something.
Right. We need to figure out something.
If you're not in love with me, but you love me, but you know what? People love people for different reasons.
Yeah. Right.
That's true. People love people for different reasons. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell who love who.
That's true.
Because if you love something, don't look like to me, you would want to hurt it. But I don't know. So that's why I said we're living in a time, a lot of stuff you try to understand, but it's beyond our understanding.
Right.
It is.
Right. And then, you know, if you, I guess the religion part of your life, like, I always knew you to be going to church, taking us to church.
Yeah, that's right. Taking y'all to church and y'all run away and won't go. Going to church. Yeah, you know what? I just believe that you have to have a foundation.
Right.
You know, you have to just have a foundation. You know, I know old people used to pray a lot, and I can see why. They were sick, they prayed, and they didn't have many doctors, so they had to believe something.
Right.
So they believed in it, and it worked.
Right.
I mean, but like you said, you have to have a foundation. I don't know, but you have to be able to live together and really just be happy and learn to not be in love, because they done got that word love mixed up.
Yeah, because it's like when you read the Bible, God didn't say, I'm in love with you. I love you because I'm the creator. I created you, so I love you.
He loved you.
Right. I'm not in love with you. So when people, like you say, in love and love, it's like, and people actually like,
because it said, for God so loved the world.
He didn't say I'm in love with you.
He gave his only begotten Son. He gave the best.
Right.
See, we can't sacrifice a little bit.
And it never said in love.
But he loved us.
Right.
And I'm glad he did.
Right.
Because we make some bad decisions sometimes. But I'm so glad he loved us enough to, and then, he's able to forgive us, and we just can go on. But my childhood was, like I said, to me, it was good. I don't ever remember being hungry. I don't ever remember not having things to wear. And the difference now, we had school clothes, play clothes, and Sunday clothes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We had Sunday clothes, because on Sunday you were going to church, and if any revivals were going on, you going to all the revivals. So you spend a lot of time,
Right.
You go to school and you come home, you get your homework, do what you got to do. But when night came, if something was going on at church, you were going to church.
Right. Building that foundation.
Yeah, but that was a good thing. Even now, I enjoy church. I enjoy singing. I enjoy it.
Right.
That's right. And when you get where you can feel the anointing of the Holy Ghost, honey, you be feeling real, real good. Good.
Yeah.
But I just hope you all get yourself back and go to church. Take your family to church.
Right.
Teach them to pray.
Yeah.
Because we living in a time that we don't have to pray.
Yeah.
We almost don't have no choice.
Yeah, it's getting weird out here.
It's gonna be weird up. Ain't no telling what you might see during your time.
Right.
If you be here long enough. I mean, according to the way things are going, things are changing so much.
Right.
Little children, it's hard. Little children are so different.
Yeah, they different than.
I mean, they like they just born, they grown. They strut around and they just grow little children.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I would like to babysit her.
You don't want to babysit some of these kids? Why not?
No. I mean, I would if they were well-mannered children, where they would listen and do, but I wouldn't be able to babysit no children that they gonna tell me more, and they just been only living a short time.
Tell you something, they like 4 years old.
No, it won't be all that. No, it's gonna be some sitting down and doing what you need to do.
Be some furniture.
But I think it's very important for children to be children and to grow, rather than children being at another place in their lives.
Right.
Now, I know they ain't making mud cakes no more. And I don't know whether they play with dolls and tea sets anymore. I don't know. But we played with things like a child up until we was at a certain age. Now, whether this is happening now, I don't know. Because children they're just different.
Right.
And I just think that for every stage of your life you go through, I think you need to balance